The workforce has changed, and leadership must change with it. I've been sharing this message with my audience for some time now. I've been compelled to create these videos to help business owners and future leaders like you who are facing challenges today and uncertain about the future with your business. We're living through one of the fastest workforce shifts ever. This is not speculation or some college theory. The data proves it. The last few years, what just happened? In the past 5 years, the U.S. and global labor markets have gone through whiplash. Unemployment fell through pandemic highs to around 4% in the U.S. by last year, while globally it stabilized to 5%. Job changes and departures surged during the 2021 Great Resignation, then moderated, but remain above pre-pandemic levels in most sectors. The remote and hybrid work exploded 5 years ago and is now stabilized. Surveys now show that 35% of workers telework on a regular basis. And perhaps most importantly, AI adoption has accelerated at unprecedented speed. McKinsey, WEF, PwC all report that up to 40% of tasks are highly automatable, with firms already reporting productivity gains and skill premiums for AI-capable workers. We've got to think about that curve. It took the internet years for mass adoption. AI did it in less than 2. The workforce has already changed. The question is, has leadership changed with it? The state of AI in business. Inside companies, adoption is widespread. 9 out of 10 firms are now reporting using AI in at least one function. But here's the catch. Only about 1/3 have moved beyond pilots to scaled impact. Most organizations are still experimenting. They're running fragmented projects without cohesive strategy. And yet workers are already using AI every single day. They're drafting emails, they're summarizing documents, they're automating reports, they're even coordinating tasks once handled by middle management. This isn't a future scenario, it's happening now. The workforce is changing faster than leaders realize today. Not because one force is reshaping work, but because multiple forces are hitting at the same time. And they're accelerating each other. Let me show you what I mean. I was an 18-year-old. I was canvassing rural Pennsylvania, going door to door, house to house, asking local people to suppress construction growth, to protect wetlands. I was in the middle of nowhere carrying clipboards, gathering signatures and donations, one conversation at a time. And here's the point. That was normal. Human interaction, face-to-face conversation, building alignment through community trust. There's no LinkedIn funnels, no social media campaigns. There's no CRM, just purpose and people. Work was local, not global. Trust was earned, not marketed. And today's leaders wonder why the modern workforce feels different. It's not that the people changed overnight. It's that work changed around them. And the next chapter of my career was my first tech job. Once a week, an engineer from Bell Atlantic would walk into my office and sit beside me to train me on their systems. It wasn't a webinar. It wasn't an online course. It wasn't a help file. It was a human expert inside the building. It was teaching me how the network works, how business works. That was the leadership pipeline. That was apprenticeship, mentorship, osmosis. You learned by sitting next to capability. You didn't Google judgment. You absorbed it. That's how future leaders were made, by being close to the craft. Now hold that thought and fast forward to today. We removed apprenticeship and replaced it with documentation. And we wonder why there's a skills gap. We removed proximity. We've never replaced it with an equal human, equally trusted operating system. That's the first force. Now combine that with labor, mobility. In 2021 and 2022, people didn't just change jobs, they changed industries. They chose flexibility over proximity. They chose purpose over title, freedom over structure. Quits surged, hiring surged. Mobility became the new currency. People discovered that They could leave. They could discover leverage. They discovered options, even through resignation. And as that moderated, they became above pre-pandemic levels. In most sectors, that means one thing: the workforce knows its power. Why the workforce is changing faster than ever. So let's connect the dots. Labor churn gave workers leverage. Quits peaked just a few years ago, showing workers could demand more. Demographics are shifting. The labor force participation recovered, but it remains below pre-pandemic peaks. It's constrained by retirements and caregiving. Hybrid work is structural. Roughly 1/3 of telework-capable workers are remote or hybrid, permanently changing supervision and coordination. AI adoption is scaling. Surveys show measurable productivity gains with 20 to 25% of middle management tasks already automated in baseline scenarios, and up to 45% in accelerated adoption scenarios. Unlike past technology waves, these forces are colliding at the same time. That's why the workforce is changing now more than ever. The messy rollout and leadership gap. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Most AI pilots fail to deliver ROI. Some studies estimate 95% of enterprise pilots don't produce measurable returns. And while nearly every CEO says they plan to integrate AI, only 1 to 2% feel truly prepared with a clear strategy. That's not a technology gap. That's a leadership gap. That's a clarity gap. Here's the macro backdrop. Layer this on top of the macro environment. Growth has cooled. Inflation has cooled. Unemployment has drifted up slightly, but it still remains at a historically high rate. This is a soft landing economy, not a crisis, not a recession, but a window. A window to redesign your workforce, upgrade skills, embed AI as a structural capability, because the next downturn will not give you this breathing room. What great leaders do differently. So what does it mean to say the workforce has changed and leadership must change with it? It means that building a human and AI workforce blueprint must be done. Set a clear AI vision. Define where AI helps customers and operations and new value creation. Invest in people, not just tools. Provide AI literacy for all. Deeper training for specific roles, and create AI champions in every department. Move from random pilots to focused experiments. Pick high-value use cases. Set clear metrics. Time box them and scale what works. Redesign workflows. They don't bolt AI onto old processes. Reimagine roles and handoffs. Address ethics and trust. Be transparent about job impacts. Clarity is everything. Commit to retraining and redeployment where possible. Get help. Bring in advisors, partners, and peer groups. Leadership is about vision, not algorithms. In the past 24 months, AI has gone from novelty to necessity. Workers are already living in a human and AI reality. But leadership? Leadership is lagging. That gap is the opportunity, because you don't need to be a data scientist. You need to be the leader who sets vision, invests in people, and builds trust. If you do that, you won't just survive this shift. You'll turn it into a competitive advantage. The workforce has changed. Leadership must change with it. Thank you.